We need to address the coming flood of new regulations that will discourage our job creators and damage our competitive edge in the global economy. When you consider all the new rules now pouring through the regulatory pipeline and those still to come, it's staggering. The Dodd-Frank financial law mandates 447 new rules, and regulators have only finalized a third of them. The Chamber's Center for Capital Markets will advance an agenda to make sure that we preserve diverse sources of capital for our nation's job creators by seeking fixes to those areas of Dodd-Frank that Congress and the regulators simply got wrong. On the environmental front, major EPA rules imposed over the last decade cost more than $23 billion, and a new ozone regulation, listen to this, if implemented, could cost American business $90 billion. If EPA moves forward with rules on greenhouse gas emissions and applies them beyond power plants and refineries, it could ensnare roughly 6 million facilities in burdensome permitting requirements. The regulatory flood appears to be particularly pronounced in the healthcare arena. The new rules and mandates in the healthcare law, not to mention the extraordinary confusion businesses are facing as they try to comply, could drive costs through the roof and in many cases cause Americans to lose the healthcare coverage that they've been accustomed to. All told, the federal government issues about 4,000 regulations every year. It would be hard to convince any reasonable person that all of them are really needed. We need to do 3 essential things to respond to this regulatory flood. We need to streamline the permitting process. It takes too long to build things in this country, and the big reason is the months and even years and years that it may take to get a permit. Second, we need to modernize our regulatory system to bring more accountability to the regulators and to restore the role of Congress in the rulemaking process. Third, you're going to see us significantly expand the expertise of our law firm, the National Chamber Litigation Center, and in other areas of our institution in order to deal with expanding regulations. Our preference is always to work within the legislative and regulatory process, and we do that on a daily basis. But when rights have been trampled on, our regulators have overstepped their bounds, well, we'll then just take necessary legal action.